Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Europa Universalis. Now we're still in the first round of the first age. Not too much has happened. We've seen a naval battle between the fleet of the Turks and the fleet of Constantinople. And it was pretty brutal. Both fleets took heavy hits. The Turks barely managed to win that battle. And then a land battle between the two armies where the Turks were totally dominant. But Constantinople has not fallen yet. The Turks still have to siege it, but that's not going to be a big deal, I guess. Not in this game. Apart from that, we're going to see now here the Reconquista starting. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The French are preparing for a war against England. They want to get the English out from the continent, out of France. But that's hard in the first turn. So they have to prepare, got to save some resources into the next turn, and then they're gonna start an attack, I guess. The goal of the Poles is to vassalize Prussia, and the English and the Austrians are bots, and the Austrians are actually the only power that managed to score points. They already have 5 victory points for the milestone here. So the Turks, they start the turn and they now want to siege Constantinople. And it's actually pretty simple. You just need enough troops and enough cubes. So the siege value that they need to be successful is 2, because the tax value of the city is also 2. So they need 2 units, which they have, and they have to spend also 2 cubes. For every unit that takes part in a siege, they have to spend 1 cube. So there you go. And that's it. They were successful. There's no die rolling or nothing. So they now take an occupied marker. And then they will take one of their, is that a large city? Yeah, it was. One of their large cities and place it on the unrest side. There we go. Now this city already gives income and manpower, as you can see, but it is at unrest. So that means there will be, there could be rebellions or some disadvantages from that, as long as this is not suppressed somehow. Okay, but that's it. The Turks own, well, technically they don't own it yet. It's still occupied, but at the end of the round, the occupied marker will be removed, and then they own Constantinople. Okay, it's the French. So the French, before they go to war, they want to actually do the military reforms. So that's another card that goes on the table. They spend 1 military cube and 2 ducats. There we go. That gives them 4 cubes. that they can place here, and that can give them quite a few advantages. However, they lose one stability. That's something they gotta do. Lose one stability. Okay, and on to the Spaniards. So their plan is to move the army. If you want to move an army, you can move it 2 spaces through friendly territory. These are mountains, so there are restrictions. I think you can only move 3 units. I'm not quite sure actually. I think you can only move 3 units across mountains if it's not friendly territory. So if I would go here, I think I could only move 3 units, but I have to check that. But this is not necessary because I can go simply like this and then enter here, and that will now trigger a combat against the troops of Gibraltar and Granada. So these are just 2 soldiers, and yeah, we're gonna fight them. So, well, I mean, probably don't even have to take them or something, but anyway. So I'm gonna attack. I got 4 infantry, 1 cavalry. So that shouldn't be a big deal. But of course, in theory, things could go wrong. Now, I don't want to lose my leader. He already is ill, so I don't want to use him. Instead, I'm just going to roll the 3 dice and hope that I'm doing okay. Okay, so these are 2 hits. 1, 2, so I'm good. I destroyed the army, but of course they can fire back. They don't have a leader because you need at least 3 to possibly have a leader. Okay, so they did 1 damage, so I'm going to remove 1 of my units. And that's it. The army is defeated. So again, we come to the English, the bot, draw a card, and that is a naval action. So that means we're gonna pay 1 bot power and we gotta discard a military card. Now let's see. Naval action also means trade. That's it's kind of a special thing here. So let's find it. There we go. Okay, so is there any hostile sea zone? No, that's not the case. The bot is not at war. Is there any siege zone without the bot's ships adjacent to bot's port? Yeah, that's the case. Place a ship in such a sea zone, prefer adjacent to most trade nodes, then alphabetical. Okay, so let's see. That's the Dogger Bank. That is adjacent to 2 trade nodes. So we place 1 here. And has ship adjacent to any pirates? No. Okay, draw a trade card. All bots that are eligible to trade in any node listed on this card will trade in the topmost node that they qualify for. Okay, let's it says draw a trade card. So a single one, I guess. Let's see. Okay, that's grain. So we have Wien, Krakow, and Kazan. The Baltic Sea is also possible. So that means, because it's Wien, the Austria bot will be able to trade. Yeah. All bots that are eligible to trade in any node listed on this card will trade in the topmost node that they qualify for. Okay, so they will trade in Wien. So that means they get simply two additional bot power. Bots gain 3 if this is a distant node and 2 if not. Yeah. Okay. Every human player can collect trade income from any eligible node on this card where they have a merchant. The resolving bot gains 2 prestige per human player who collects income. Okay, so let's see. Now Wien, maybe the Poles can trade. They have influence in Bohemia. I wonder if influence makes it eligible. Krakow definitely does. Krakow is right here. So the Poles can trade. Oh, they need to have a merchant. Exactly. So they do have a merchant there. So yeah, Krakow definitely can trade. And if there's a plus back here, I think that gives them even an additional buck. So the Poles have a trade power of 1 for the merchant. Let me see. Let me check that. So the Poles have the merchant there, which gives them 1, and Krakow gives them 2 because the plus gives an additional 1. So they have overall 3 trade power there, and that means they get $5. That's pretty awesome. They're going to take that, obviously. And that gives now the bot, if I'm not mistaken, 2 victory points. Yeah. That was the English bot. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? No. Kazan, nobody can trade there. Okay, so that's that. And there we go. Now we continue. Move the merchant of the bots that gained cubes to the topmost valid node on the card. What? I don't get that. Move the merchant of bots that gained a cube. Oh, I get it. I get it. So it's a little odd. I think he simply stays there then. Yeah, that's what happened. The merchant simply stays there. Bots merchant are never exhausted. And the guy simply stays there. And this guy is also not exhausted because he didn't do the trade action. I think you only have to exhaust your merchant if you actually are doing the trade action. But in this case, he kind of was a passive player, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Has he placed a ship this turn, the bot? Yes. So that's it. That's the end of the turn. So it's a little confusing because it was the English bot, but the Austrians and the Polish actually had an advantage. But okay, the English guy placed a ship, so that wasn't that bad either. Then it's the Austrians, and we draw another bot card. And it says Papal Curia Spy. If they are at war, they spy. That's not the case. So they got to spend 2 cubes. They got to discard an admin card. And let's see. Papal Curia action. Yeah, it's a Catholic state. Is he already the uncontested papal controller? No, that's not the case. Is it H1 or 2? Yes. Oh, wait a second, it goes down. It's not the case. Is the papal controller in H1 or 2? And can he use excommunications to remove an opponent's cardinal? He's not the papal controller. At the moment, Spain would be the papal controller because he's on the leftmost space. Place a cardinal in the leftmost regular papal curia slot. Okay. So that means now he is the papal controller. Remove an excommunication on the own realm if there is any, and that then ends the turn. Okay, so that's what we do. We place a cardinal here, I guess. And that's a little bit tricky. I wonder if this guy, I think the Polish cardinal dies because this slot is not available. But I'm not totally sure. Gotta check it. Okay, so let's talk quickly about this papal curia. We haven't seen that really yet. So as you can see, there are these cardinals, and I just checked it. There is always one more cardinal slot available than the total number of Catholic players. So right now there are 6 cardinal slots, and this is a special one. If you captured Rome, you can get control over this one. Now, the thing is, if one player holds the most cubes, controls the most cardinals, like at the moment Austria, that would mean they are the uncontested controller. And that actually gives a couple of additional, I think it gives 3 prestige points at the end of the turn. It depends on the number of Catholic realms, but at the moment it would be 3 prestige points, I guess. And it also gives a couple of other bonuses. So, for example, I'm not sure, to be honest. I think they get an additional diplomacy. They have to spend less for advisors. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's actually, and it's easier to increase the stability. If you're not the uncontested controller, but let's assume it would be like this, then now if there's a tie, the leftmost player, or the player who controls the leftmost cardinal, is the controller. He's not the uncontested controller, but he's the controller. And that gives him at least access to the special actions that the papal controller has, and that would be the option to call for a crusade or to do an excommunication. So these things are also possible, but they're now obviously also possible for the Austrians. So now it's the Poles, and their goal is to defeat the Knights. They have to own or vassalize 3 or more provinces in Prussia. Okay, so we didn't talk about how vassalizing actually works. So basically, if you want to gain provinces, you got two options. You can do it either militarily or diplomatically. Now, the military way we've seen here by the Turks. Fight battles, siege. Then you have a province in unrest, which can cause further problems, and then eventually you got to try to quell the unrest, or I mean, you could also ignore it, but as I mentioned, that could bring further problems. So the other way is the diplomatic way, and to do that, the first step is you have to forge an alliance with the area. Once you have an ally there, you can subjugate this area and vassalize it. Now, to do this, you need a specific card, this one here, that the Poles actually have. That's the subjugate card. Now, it takes a few, you need an equal number of influence as the tax value of the provinces, so in this case 4, to be able to do that. And you're going to remove that influence then, and then you can vassalize the area. That allows you to place these markers, and that will already give you some advantage. You get more income, you have more manpower. To actually incorporate the area into your kingdom, you have to do basically the same thing again. So you have to again place an equal number of influence as the tax value in the kingdom. Then you need another subjugate card, and then you can, what's it called? Annex. You can annex a vassal. If it's a small ally, just with a single province or one tax ally, you can annex him immediately. You don't have to vassalize him first. Okay, so that's basically how it works. Usually it takes 3 steps: alliance, vassalizing, and then annexing. So we have to work on the alliance first. I think what I want to do is, I'm going to take this card, the Hungarian throne. And the reason why I want to do that is, it gives me 2 diplomatic cubes. And that's pretty awesome. So I'm going to do this. It doesn't give me money, but that's okay. I want the cubes. So yeah, it's the Hungarian throne, and we accept the Hungarian monarch. Austria loses 2 victory points, prestige points. So usually Austria wants that and insists on restoring the union, but they didn't do it. Austria gains 2 influence cubes in any Hungarian area. So let's see. They usually choose in alphabetical order. So I'm not sure, is that? Nah, Transylvanian. So I guess they're going to go for the Hungarian plain. Yeah. And then it makes more sense for them technically if they know it's, yeah, no, it's okay, I guess. So, and then yeah, the player gains 2 diplomacy. There we go. And then we have this thing here that means a cardinal dies. So I think the Poles can now determine, yeah, which cardinal they want to kill. So I think we're going for the Spanish cardinal, because now even if one of ours dies, that means we still have control. So yeah, that guy dies. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, oh no, absolutely not. We have to place additional money here. Now we have $4 on each of these. That's pretty good. And we got to draw a new event, and that is the plague. Okay, place an injury marker in one of your own areas and another injury marker in an area adjacent to it. For every 2 ducats on this event, place an injury marker in a new area adjacent to the previous token placed. All players must remove half of their units in these areas as casualties, reduce a large city in one of these areas to a small city, and provinces and areas with injury markers provide half the tax income rounded down. Okay, that can be pretty painful, especially if some money shows up here. So that's kind of a dangerous one. Turks, they want to continue their war against Byzantium, but to do that, they need more military cubes. So they have to change the focus of their state, which means they can do it like this, and that gives them 2 more military cubes. They have now the option to discard cards and grab new ones. Do they want to do that? Actually, maybe yes. I don't know, the mercenaries are not bad, but I'm not sure if they actually need them right now. Interesting. I'm gonna discard 3 cards. I think I don't really need all that stuff. And I'm allowed to draw 2 new cards now. I'm gonna draw one of these. That is development. That's a pretty awesome card, I think. Yeah. That's a good card. Yeah. And I'm not sure. Maybe I should draw another one here. You know, actually, yeah, I think I want to do this. I'm not sure what I actually want to do. I think it would be kind of cool to find an advisor, because I don't have any yet. But I don't want to spend these 2 cards. The development would have been an advisor, but I mean, I could grab this guy, Galileo. But the revolutionary idea is also pretty cool. I'm going to draw another card from this deck, and that's good. That's Robert. Okay, I think actually, God, this guy is also good. You may remove unrest from one of your... Wow, that's strong. Huh. That's a good card too. You know, I think what I'm going to do is, I'm actually, and it's a bit of a shame. Darn. I think I'm actually gonna get rid of the revolutionary ideas. The problem is you need a stability of 0 or more. I don't have that. So, you know, I really think I want these ideas, because that gives me another admin cube, and I really think I want that advisor. That gives me an additional admin cube. So I gotta pay $1 for this guy. Do I wanna, let me see. Yeah, I don't see any death symbol here. So yeah, I think I can bring him into play. Actually, I think what I wanna do is, I wanna spend an extra $1 And instead of Galileo, I think I'm actually going to take the development. That gives me 2 additional ones. That also allows me, I then still have the option to play the revolutionary ideas, which might be useful. I think I'm going to do it that way. It's a little hard to bring this underneath with a single hand, but okay. So there you go. Yeah, I think it kind of sucks because the development card is a strong card, but it gives me more, it gives me an additional admin, and I also really like the revolutionary ideas. So that will allow me to, yeah, to score a couple of points over here. Okay, nice. So then that was the reorg action here, and now we come to the French. They want to increase the stability, I guess. So that costs 5 admin cubes minus, oh wait a second. How does it work? I think it costs 5 admin cubes, and you modify that with the stability. Exactly. So if you have a stability of -2, that means it costs you only 3 admin cubes. If you have a stability of +2, it would cost you 7 admin cubes. So that's what we do. We spend 3, and the thing goes up by 1 space again. It's not great, but at least we don't get any unrest anymore. So therefore, I think it's okay, but we're going to lose money, which kind of sucks. Okay, so the Spaniards, or the Castile. So they did their battle down here, and that means they now also have to siege these 2 provinces, and that means they also have to do a reorg. Oh, actually, I forgot. For the successful battle, they should have gained a cube. And but still, they need 2 cubes to do a siege, because they are the provinces that they want to siege have a combined siege value of 2. So that means they also have to do a reorg action. So that's what we do. I guess. Yeah. So that means we bring, let's see if we want 3 cubes in here, or maybe it's good enough if we just exchange 1 cube and we try to do something. We got to see what we want to do with the other cubes. Okay, so considering the fact that this guy is a really bad ruler, and he only gives 1 admin and 1 diplomacy, I think what I want to do is, I mean, we get a bit out of the advisors, right? So that's not so bad. But I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring 1 diplomacy in here. On the other hand, I might consider to quell unrest. Let me think about that. I think I'm okay like that. Do I want to discard cards? Got the royal marriage, which isn't bad. The man of the church is also good. The naval maneuver isn't great, but it doesn't help me to discard only this. So I think I'm okay here. And now let's go again with the bot. Again, no threats or anything. Can try to, but it seems to me that he still simply draws a card. Yeah, so he simply draws a card, the English bot. And it says unrest, spy. He's got to spend 2 bot power for that. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna spy. So let's see. I'm pretty sure the unrest doesn't help him a bit. And if that has no effect, he's going to go to the spy. Well, he doesn't have anything here. Can place a core province. No. No. I think he cannot place a core province. So therefore, he's going to go to the spy action. And that means, is he at war? No. Is he at war with an NPR? No. Select opponent. Okay, so we gotta do that. We gotta select an opponent. There are rules for that. Okay, so we have here opponent selection. When applicable, always prioritize opponent at war with the bot. If no such candidate or more than one candidate will die. Okay, so let's do it. That's a 6. The guy with the highest tax income. Okay, so let's see. I think we're not talking about, I don't know if it's base tax income or overall. I guess we're talking about, I don't know. Well, that is also vassal tax. I would say we're talking about overall, including vassals. So this guy, the Turks have 17. They have 16, the French. Spanish 12. This guy has no income. And they have 9. So that means we will spy against the Turks, I guess. So how does that work? God. Okay, so there we are. It's a covered action at 2 unrest to opponents' towns. Wow, that sucks. Let's see if the Turks have a card. Counter-espionage would be the one they need. They don't have that. So yeah, that's not good. So I think what they do is they try to go with the towns with the highest tax value, and then they go, they follow simply an alphabetical order. So I guess these two will fall into unrest. Okay, because of some weird clandestine actions of the English. Well, okay, but that's definitely not nice. Okay, and now it's the Austrian bot. And we have also an unrest action. They do not have unrest, so that means they will do a focus action again. So they do a lot of these development, not a lot of aggression. So they got to spend 1 cube. They will discard one of these, and then let me see what they do. They simply take this cube and place it on exploration, because that's what the bot card says. And this card is now also removed from this age. So the behavior will change. There are not unlimited focus cards in there. So I guess maybe we find in the upcoming rounds the bot will act quite different. Okay, and then it's the Poles again, and they will now try to do their diplomacy action. So let's see. They want to forge an alliance with Prussia. That's their big goal. Now they have a subjugate card, which would allow them to vassalize Prussia if they have enough cubes in there. So let's see. They need 4 cubes in there to vassalize Prussia. They need... How many cubes do you need for the Forge Alliance action? Let me see. Okay, so forging an alliance cost... Oh boy. Half the target's the tax income. So that would be 2. Okay, so overall they need 2 for the alliance. They need another 4 to have in here for the vassalization, plus 1 to play the card. So that means they basically need 7 cubes, which they have, I think. So that should work out. And the thing is, if they should not have enough cubes, they could pay to bring influence in here. I just got to make sure I don't mess this up, because that would be bad. Okay, so I got to spend 2 for that and 1 more. Yeah, so that should be fine. So that means maybe I don't even have to pay any money. That would be pretty awesome. Let's do it. So I'm going to throw in 4 influence. That is simply an influence action. Basically every influence cubes that you place, no, I was wrong. You can only place 2 influence per area. I forgot about that. Okay, so let's do this now. So this is my first action. I place 2 influence per area. I can place more with another action, but I forgot about that. There is the maximum that you can only place 2 per action per area, but that's okay for now. You know what? I don't want to make this too long. I think I might actually load this up now. We're at the end of well, we're once around the table basically. So yeah, why not? This will take a lot of videos, but it's okay. I don't want to make this terribly long. So actually, I think I want to load this up at that point. I think if I do 1 more video, I can get it to the end of the round tomorrow maybe, but for now I want to load this up. So yeah, hope to see you in the next video. Bye.